At $5, let's just say this is $5. 80 is demanded. So let's just say 100 is right here. What must the price be relative to the 5? More or less?
So 80.
Right. So at 85 is demanded, or I'm sorry, when 80 are demanded, it's $5. But when 100 is demanded, the price, how is it relative to the $5? Is it less or is it more?
More.
If it were more, it'd be up here. This would be like if it were $8, it would be up here, and it would hit the curve and drop down and be like 40, we'll say. Okay. So at $4 here. Yeah, at $4, more is demanded. Okay, so like, just like, if I don't feel like it's clear just based on what I'm hearing, kind of, nonverbal body language, it's like, it's just like the example, like if you want more of, people demand more of something when the price is less. It's like when stuff goes on sale on Black Friday, or Amazon's running a special on something, more people buy it. And the reason is because the price is lower. And that's got to be like a really in your brain, like basic understanding thing of demand.
Yeah.
Like they give you a definition in the book, but it's really that the more something that's demanded, the less that it should cost. I don't know if that's clear or not, but
no, yeah, it is. Sorry, I lose focus sometimes. So
that's okay. That's okay. So let me try to do the other. I'm going to look through these questions and do them sort of in an order that might make more sense. Okay. So let me snip in. This is question 3. We'll come back to 2. Okay. Take a look at this. And I need to look up something real quick. Right. Okay. So this is a really common thing that you're going to see in this class. Like this is a standard multiple choice. Increase in quantity demanded, increase in decrease in quantity demanded, increase in demand, increase in demand. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to make sure I get this wording right, because I really, like, in full disclosure, I don't always remember this until I look at it again. So the first two here, they are considered movements along the curve.
That's along the line then?
Yes, along the curve / line.
Okay.
And you have to decide which direction you're going. And what I like to do is draw an arrow to make it really clear. I'm going from B to A. From B to A. So let's just say B is down here, Q prime is 100, and the new Q is 50. Did you move? Well, you know that you moved up the curve, but how does that reflected in the quantity? Did the quantity go down or did it go up?
It went down from B to A.
Right. So it's a decrease in quantity demanded. So this is like a basic fundamental thing in this class that has to be super, super clear, that a movement along the curve / line is either an increase or decrease in quantity demanded. And it's very easy. You can see it's just one word different than the previous. The next two answers are one word different than this one. So it's tough to really distinguish between the two of them if you're not sure. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's why you got to be really careful here. So question 2 here is very much that same idea here. It's in words, but it's basically asking you if the price changes. Let me draw a graph here. Yeah, so draw a graph here. Price, quantity. So it says when the price of a good changes, okay? So basically, like, let's just say you were at A and you had a certain price at A, P1, and then you go to B, price 2. Okay. What is happening? And if you look carefully at there's 3 answers here that say that the curve shifts, and shifts. Okay. And again, you can always look these up on the web, right? But like, we're trying to understand them to say, to not just go out to the internet and say, okay, here you go, here's the
Yeah, I
answer.
like the graphs though. The
Yeah,
graphs.
the visual really helps here. But I mean, it's okay to go out to the internet, but just like, this is one of those problems that actually is like anti-testing strategy, because you would think if 3 of them were shifts, it would be one of those 3, but it's not. Whenever the price of a good or the quantity, price or quantity, either one, sorry, let me not cross that out, or quantity of a good changes, it's a movement along the curve, okay? And that's just a fundamental thing that you're seeing. Like, you have to be very comfortable with this idea that if you move along the curve, it's an increase in quantity demanded or decrease in quantity demanded, increase in price demanded, decrease in price. I'm sorry, increase in price, decrease in price. And it's just very easy to miss that in this course. So that's why we're talking about it so much here in this beginning part. Okay. That's question 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's look at question 5 next.
What problem number was that one? Sorry.
That was number 2. That was 2.
Oh, okay.
2, yeah. And so let me make sure put a note here. This is 5 here. All right. Which of the following demonstrates the law of demand? So again, it's really, I guess we could make it a little bigger. Again, it's that graph here. Price, quantity, boom. Okay. And in words, it's like, the more something costs, that's at the top here, the less I want it. Okay. The less something costs, the more people want it. Okay. So one of these says that, like, one of these says, like, basically when the price falls or goes up. Okay. And that's really what you're looking for here, is a place where there's 2 price points. Okay. So question is, do you buy less when the price is more? I'm sorry, so this one's worded a little strange. Martha buys fewer Milky Ways at 80 cents per Milky Way after the price of Snickers falls to 70 cents per Snicker. Okay. So they're saying the price went down, but you're buying less. And that is not true. It's because that would be going from 80 cents to 70 cents. And you can
The
see that
answer would be Kelvins, right?
yes. Yes. Now this thing at the end here, they really like to emphasize.
Yeah, I didn't get what that was though.
Yeah, I don't, and I still to this day, I'm like, why do they even bring? It's like they always want to bring a suitor's purpose. They're trying to say like this is only true in this isolated situation. Like if It's, you know, like, let's say they lowered the price of their dirt track, but a monsoon came through.
Mhm.
Like, would lower price cause demand to increase if it was wet and you know, puddles everywhere?
Yeah.
Well, I'm asking, I guess I don't
Oh.
know. I don't know enough about dirt tracks to know if
Oh,
like,
no, they don't even close it down. I mean, they close the whole track down.
yeah, so like, it doesn't matter
pavement.
if it's a lower price. And so all the other things being equal is like, yeah, lower price, but it's a sunny day in Arizona and you don't have any issues
Mhm.
with weather, you know, or you know, the price of fuel didn't go up to the point where, you know, you're like, hey, maybe we shouldn't go burn, you know, all this fuel out there.
Mhm.
I'm curious, do you guys have to fill up with gas while you're out there? How does
Yeah,
that work?
we bring like 5 gallons of gas in a jug.
Okay. I was wondering, yeah, so it seemed like that's the kind of thing you would you'd go through.
Yeah. And then for like the desert, you just put, like, some of my buddies have bigger tanks that they'll put on their bike.
Nice. Yeah. All right, so let's go to number 6 or 6 here.
Mhm.
Okay, if the market consists of Michelle, Carlos, and Jeff, and the price falls from $4 to $3, the quantity demanded in the market increases by. Okay, so notice like there's supposed to be a total column here, which maybe will be obvious after we do this. So they're saying like, imagine there's only 3 people that demand a certain good, which is not reality. I mean, the reality is millions of people that want things, but they're saying just like, this is it.
Mhm.
Okay, so whenever you see that, you have to create the total column here. So you have to have 5 and 4 and 11, 6 and 6 and 13. So that's 25, and then 15, 30. Okay. Now we care about what happens as the price falls from $4 to $3.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's like you went from 4 to 3, but you actually don't care about this table right now. You only care about this change right here.
Okay.
That's why you need the total though. Okay, and when the price falls, the demand goes up. And we
Mhm.
expect that. $1 less, I want more. So the demand increased from 25 to 30, that's plus 5 units.
Okay, that one's pretty straightforward.
Yes, yes.
So the key is just doing the total column.
Yes.
Okay.
For, you know, for this type of
Problem or question.
yeah. All right, so number 9, I know we're skipping some. There's a reason. A few of these are very specific wording that we have to look up, but this one's not. This one's one that's kind of what we've been doing. So again, like, you can't overemphasize this thing the instructors are trying to tell you here, which is that if you move right along the demand curve, so along means you're not shifting it. It's like going from A to B. Okay, so what happens in terms of quantity demanded, which means these are out, because we just talked about earlier, when you move along the curve, it's an increase or a decrease in quantity demanded. So when you go from A to B, okay,
Huh.
like, let's just say the quantity here is 50 and now it's 100. What happened to quantity demanded? Did it go up or did it go down?
Sorry, from A to B.
From
Or
A to B. Yeah,
it
that's
went
why
down.
it was 50 at A.
Oh, the
Quantities,
quantity went up. Yeah.
yes. And see how easy it is to, you know, you could have the right picture, everything could
Yeah.
seem reasonable, and you just choose the wrong answer. I wouldn't call it a trick question. I would just say it's just,
So a demand curve always has the quantity at the bottom. So you
yes,
cross the
yes.
other two out.
Right. And I think it's kind of odd, but that's weird. It's just,
Mhm.
that's the way they do it. I mean, it never really made sense to me, but you know, whatever. Main thing here though is that movements along the curve are quantity demanded.
Mhm. Okay.
So here is yet another question like this. And you can see how useful it is to draw the curve each time. Oops. Well, let's do it. We'll just fine, leave it there. Okay. So again, like quantity price, over and over again drawing this. So it says an
You can
increase
check.
in the price.
Uh-huh.
So increase price. So it's like you were here at A, and let's just say it's $5. And then you go to B, which is $10. And let's just say again, the quantity here is 100 and over here it's 50. You're going from A to B this time.
hmm
So because it's a movement along the curve, it's quantity demanded. See how
So
these
it'd
two
be
answers have
a decrease in quantity.
yes. I'll just highlight these real quick. It's just so important.
Do
Get this down.
you still take classes at all or no?
No.
You're all done.
Yeah, no, I graduated 2006. But
Oh, no.
I mean, I've thought about going back, but it doesn't. You go back to school when you think there's a return on what you're doing. Like right now, your return on your business degree is the income you're going to make for the rest of your life.
Uh-huh.
So it's a huge return. I mean, they don't talk to you about this, but you're going to make, I mean, even if you just have a median income and never get a raise, make $50,000 a year times 40 years, that's $2 million of income in your life. That's what this degree means.
Mhm.
So it's pretty substantial. So, but then to get like, if you get a master's degree or something and, maybe you increase your income a little bit, and there's raises along the way, but there's other ways to increase your income. I mean, there's so many people out there now making money, doing things that they could never do before in terms of social media videos, becoming, these people that, we're drawn to, we care what they have to say, books, so on and so on. So the degree is great, but there's a lot more out there that people can do to earn an income.
Well, and there's opportunity of owning your own business too.
Exactly. If you ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, he talks about exactly what you just said. Being a business owner is the pathway to wealth, not working for someone else your whole life.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to the questions we've missed, or I missed because they didn't make sense in the order that we looked at them. And so I think the first one is 4.
Mhm. I like how we're skipping through. It's better.
Yeah, well, these are randomly done. I mean, you would never learn them in this odd order where they're out of order. So whenever it's which of the following is not, these are tough because that means there's 5 that are, like, sometimes I read these as which of the following are held constant in a
Mhm.
demand schedule to answer the question. So I'm drawn right here to these 2 because they're price.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
And this is one of those where I'm like, I believe it's price of gas, but it's one of those where I'm like, well, maybe go out to the internet and take a look and see what it has to say. Again, make sure you get some thumbs up on those answers if you're looking. So did you take a look at this one, or you
I did.
what
Well, I just
what's
figured it'd be price of gas because it's never it always changes,
yeah.
So I don't know what demand schedule would be.
So the demand schedule refers to the points along the curve that we're graphing.
Mhm.
It's like let's say let me see here, price and quantity, or see quantity and price, I guess the way they do it. It's like, let's say 10 cars are demanded, the price would be 100. These are out of scope. 20 cars are, so that's this first point. If the
Mhm.
quantity is 20, the price is now 80, like that. If 30 are demanded, then the price is maybe 60.
Mhm.
That this table is the demand schedule.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm struggling here. I know that it's one of these 2.
I feel like they're all kind of
Well, so these are textbook answers, taste, expectations and income. They're, but is it the, I don't know why I'm struggling so much to answer this, but it really is, I believe it's price, just price.
Okay. Yeah, that one's
Price is
tricky.
not held constant in a demand schedule. Because you can see the price is changing here.
Could I maybe just to see if I were to look that one up?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've been looking here too on some of these because
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, please look them up. Like I'm not an all-knowing, everything. So yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
think it would be price. It says price of the own good itself.
Yeah. And you can see price changes in the table and the graph here.
Yeah, that
Alright.
one's tricky.
Okay, so here's 7. So you're not going to get this problem on a test, but you're going to get one like it where the answer is still price, or it'll be the other way. It'll be which of the following are held constant. It'll be taste, expectations, income, and maybe something else there. Okay. All right. Other things being equal. This is number 7. When the price of iron rises, the quantity of iron falls. Okay. So this is, again, price and quantity. So it's like, if the price rises, so you were at A, and then you go to B, and you can see that the when the price goes up, like let's say it was $5 and goes to $10, the quantity demanded went from A 100 to B 50, and this relationship between price and quantity demanded of iron is the law of demand. Like this is a textbook definition.
Mhm.
So if you can't tell, I mean, it's the obvious thing here is like, this is the law of demand. Like this whole quiz is on the law of demand.
Yeah.
All right. So don't believe we did 8 yet. All right, the market demand of a good is the amount that buyers are, and this is again one of those kind of textbook, because they all seem right to me.
Mhm.
Because I don't know, like they're differentiating between words like willing and able and need. And I don't know, I mean, I probably use those words wrong in my own life. It's like I need to eat. I mean, I don't know, do I need to eat? I mean, maybe, maybe if I'm really hungry, but or I need to get out and exercise. I don't know. So this is like one of those textbook definitions. I have no idea. So we're gonna use the interwebs here and see if anything pops up. This is one of those things that probably is directly from your PowerPoint notes. Like you can probably find this word for word in there. And this is one of those questions where, when you go to class, you would be scanning for. All right. Now, when you search a question like this on the interwebs, make sure you put like Chegg in front of it, or Quizlet or whatever. That way it kind of knows to look for there.
Yeah.
Google's pretty solid on that. Don't just put it in there because you'll get people's blog posts, and you don't want that. So I'm seeing a downvote on this answer. Willing, able,
Willing and able.
but it's a downvote, so I don't like those. I guess I would go with the last one here because if we can't find a good um reference here, but it's you have to actually be willing to purchase something for it to be any good, for that price drop. That's and you'll learn this later in the course, why certain things like diamonds are always priced high, because there's no reason for them to drop the price, because we don't need to buy a bunch of diamonds. But like eggs, if you're paying attention to eggs right now, they're hard to find, or harder to find. And you know, when the price changes, people have to still be willing to purchase it. So sometimes what you can do here is you can search for this initial, you know, the market demand of a good, and then the answer that you think is right. That's also a technique for seeing if it's out there. Because sometimes we like to think that we know, and then you just give it a look. You say, okay, maybe it's this one. Yeah,
That one's
so
a little bit confusing,
so-
but
So I believe, yeah, so what I was trying to explain here is that what I do if I'm really unsure is I go to the answer I think is right, and then I search for all that, and then you know, in this case, there is plenty of references that say willing and able to buy for this. Okay, so 10, I believe, is the only one we have not done yet. Is that right? No,
I think in 3.
and 3. Okay, we did 3 earlier. Let's go back to 3. 3
Oh,
is,
yeah, I just didn't mark it. Sorry.
yeah, it's okay.
Um,
So actually we 10 and 11 we got to do here.
3 was a
Let's go back and look here. So 3 was a decrease in quantity demanded.
yeah.
Decrease in quantity demand. Okay. A group of buyers and sellers of a particular good or service is called a market. Okay, this is just a standard textbook definition. If you were in class and saw this, it would be a 1-for-1 on a slide. But what you can always do is what I just mentioned before, is you go out and you say, okay, let me just put the answer in and see that that actually is something that's a standard thing. And it is. There is a pure definition. There's no like discussion needed on that.
Yep.
So this is like a you know, Quizlet or a you know, something you'd want to study. Like you'd want to study this as just reading it to yourself. A group of buyers and sellers in a particular good and service is called a market. All right. The market demand curve. Now we did this in an earlier problem, so I'm going to go back and show you that. We did it right here. What did we do in this column off to the right?
We added a total and then
Exactly.
counted.
So it's the sum, represents the sum of what? What did we add up in that table? Did we add up the price or did we add up the quantities demanded? If you're not sure, we can go back and look.
Well, we used the price.
So we did it for each price, like for each price point, but we added, how do we get to 20? How do we get to 20 here? We
added all the quantities.
Demanded. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, that's kind of a strategy here, is to go back and look at something else. Yeah, we added up the sum means add up the quantities demanded.
Okay.
All right. So that's probably all I've got time for today,
Yeah, that's
for
okay.
right now, but we got through this. Let me stop the recording.